even though you knew that one day, I mean, you had this backup plan and you could go back again at some point, regardless of whether you were successful or not, right? With your game, that, I mean, that option is there. Were you still scared, like when you left your job? And yeah, if you were, like, how scared were you?
Yeah, I think it was definitely a scary decision because I think I see it not just as a career change, sort of, but just a life change in general. Like, for example, there's a lot of getting used to, like, with new routines, and like I don't have this fixed structure that I orientate my life around, right? Where people usually who has 9 to 5 jobs, right? I think like they have to build their life sort of around it, right? Weekends are for rest. You work 9 to 5, and after work you do, I don't know, whatever. Whereas working by yourself, doing your own thing, you need to structure it yourself and navigate it by yourself. So it was definitely scary. And of course there's also the the fear of failing. I think that's probably always the big thing, fear to fail. But
what is the success rate like approximately for indie game developers? Like, how many people make it, if there's like a definition for making it at all? Like, what would be success, and how would you define failure?
I think, it depends on person to person for sure how you define success, right? I would say a reasonable way to define it is, I don't know, you make a game and you can sell it enough for you to get by, I would imagine. But I'm sure people have various definition of success, right? I mean, you can not earn a lot of money but have a great game, and I would definitely count that as a success as well to some degree. And then of course there's a 0.0001% or whatever of the super successful ones, right? And that's the story we often heard. And it will be nice to achieve that, but especially in the indie game industry, I don't think it's a reasonable target to aim for. But and it's definitely, I think, not the best industry to be in financially wise. I think that's also what made it hard for me, because I'm going from like a career that made me good income to one that's like very shaky and like known for for not a good like a financial decision. Like, if your goal is to make a lot of money, I don't do indie game development.
Be a software engineer, right?
Be a software engineer. I don't know.
I think fear of failure is something that like holds many people or most people back from really going after what they really want, what's important to them, right? Like being afraid to fail. How did you in the end overcome that feeling? Because like I can't imagine, like it's a very big concern, like thinking about, oh, what if this doesn't work? What if I fail? Like, how did you get over that feeling and just like decided to let's just do it anyway? And
Right. I think for me, probably there are two things that helped me get over that. The first is related to my previous point about being prepared. Do your research, get as much information as possible about what you're doing exactly. Like you said, you don't know for sure what you're getting into until you're actually doing it, but I do think a lot of research and being specific about what you're doing can help you prepare and give you a better chance at success. So I guess this is the more practical sort of thing that I did. And the second thing is, I guess, more about the mindset. Like, well, it's natural to think like, oh, what if I fail? But then there's also, you can also be fearful of, oh, what if I don't try this now, right? There's that risk too. Especially if you think the opportunity won't easily come as often, then you want to think, right? Like, will I get a second chance to do this? And I think that really pushed me into actually doing it and overcoming that fear, because the fear of not trying it at all, I think, outweighs the fear of failing.
Why do you think that there might like not be an opportunity to do it again? I mean, it kind of implies that it's better to try it out earlier rather than later in a way, right?
Right, yeah. I mean, yeah, it really depends on your situation, but there's all sort of factors to consider, right? Like, I don't know, where you are at life, or just financially. If like, I don't know, you have savings now, but who knows what will happen in the future. Health could be a consideration too. Say, I don't know, you're feeling good and fit, and I don't know, you're at your prime or whatever, but things can change, right? So yeah. I mean, of course, it can also change for the better, but you never know. So I think, given the opportunity, you have to, yeah. If you're thinking it from the, oh, what's the worst case scenario, then it's probably, oh, then the chance might not come again, right? So if there's a chance, like, you should at least think of it carefully.
Yeah, that's a good insight, because there are many people, I also have many friends who are like still in banking, and they take the approach, like those who are on the like safer side in quotes, they think that a better approach is to save up even more and wait even longer until perhaps they're in their 50s or 60s and then do whatever they want, right? But yeah, like after hearing what you said just now, it kind of makes sense. If you wait too long, I mean, nothing in life is certain, right? Whether or not you will still have that money, because I don't know, you could lose it for one or the other reason, right? I mean, simply just consuming it maybe. Yeah. Or you don't know how your health will be, whether or not you'll have enough energy at that point or not. So yeah, there are a lot of things that speak for why not like do it now as early as possible. I mean, as long as your finances and everything else allows it, right?
Yeah.